Hey everyone, welcome to my office. I'm going to give you a tour of my home office at the Graf Tax Co, where I run my CPA firm and work on my content and run my community for accountants. All right, let's come on in. Okay, so we moved into this house in 2018, and before this was my office, it was actually an open area. We can call it like a loft. We're on the second story of my house, and this wall right here used to not be there. And I don't know, 2019-ish, maybe 2020. I think about 2019. We built this. I didn't build it. I paid somebody to build this wall and install this door, and they installed like this little wall right here as well to connect it to the wall. So they did a great job, and I love it. So, but this used to be like a playroom for my oldest daughter, and it was all white walls, and we painted it gray. There used to be a TV right there. We didn't put that plug there, that outlet, but man, it's like a scourge in every single one of my videos. Like I'm thinking about covering it up. I don't know, cover it up with a clock, but I'm not gonna like take it out because I don't know, you never know. Might need it. Maybe I could put a neon sign there. I don't know, but when you raise the desk, you don't notice it. And if I make videos, so I usually have the camera like about right here, and when I make videos, sometimes my head is at the perfect height to cover it up. Okay. But anyway, so when we first bought the house, I was employed, and we had like a glass desk right here. There's been so many iterations of where I've worked in this house. It's absolutely bonkers. So I'm actually going to walk you through the kind of history of the house. Well, I'm using a gimbal. I'm going to walk you through the history of where all of my desks were, and so where I worked basically. So let's see if I can whip this around here. Okay, so first stage was right here, glass desk. Pretty simple. I had a W-2 job, and then we'll come out of here, and then we moved the desk right here, so I guess there could be more of a play area for my daughter, and so we moved my desk right here into this like little nook. I don't know exactly what this is for. I don't know, but we have like a little reading area for our daughters right now. So this is the second iteration right here, and then for some reason we moved it into our bedroom. We're about to have our third kid, that's why you see all these baby stuff. But I had the desk right there, and I guess I would work. I think I had my firm, or just launched my firm, and I would work there, I guess, during non-sleeping hours. I think because we had a guest bedroom and we didn't want to put my desk in there, or there wasn't enough space. Okay, so this is the third iteration, third spot. The fourth iteration was back here in this corner. This is my daughter's room, and all the walls were like this kind of bluish color, and I was in this corner. It was great because I was like in the corner of the house, and I didn't hear that many sounds. Great spot, but then we had our second child, and we're like, oh man, let's create a more separate office for them. That lands us to where we are today in this office. This desk has been with me for a while. It's an autonomous desk, standing desk. It's like an XL, so it's pretty big, and that helps out a lot with keeping things neat. I try to keep my desk relatively empty most of the year, or clean, nothing on it. I used to have a a computer desktop right here. I guess this one right here. This right here used to be right here. I think right here or in the other corner. But then I put it under. So desk mounts are amazing. Under desk mounts, under desktop mounts, under desk computer mounts, whatever. So that's a great spot to just keep your area clean. It just makes such a big difference when you have a nice clean space, at least for me. These are these, if you ever been to an accounting conference, Canopy gives these out. They're super fun. I don't know if they have any other new versions. I think the latest version was this kind of break room. My daughters love to come in and mess with these and play with them and move them around to different arrangements. Monitor arms are absolutely key to a good desk. I've gone through a lot of monitor arms in my day just because I've had different monitors. I've had these monitors for a while. I think they're 27 inches, 4K Dell. They're amazing. One day I'll probably upgrade them, but they work really well right now and they're big. I do one vertical. You're probably gonna be like, why do you do that? I can easily switch them around to horizontal, but when you have two 27 inches next to each other, it just takes up so much space, horizontal space, and you have to move your head back and forth a lot sometimes. So I found that just having a vertical monitor helps out a lot because, you know, this screen, you can partition it down the middle and that helps out. But anyways, get yourself some nice monitor arms. These were almost 200 bucks each. So, but I wanted some beefy ones that can handle it. I got these speakers probably a year and a half ago. Edifier, they're sweet. Can jam out during busy season. I got this. This is awesome. I recommend getting some sort of mic arm, and that keeps things off your desk, and you get to move it around really easily. That's always a nice feature. Always got to have a clicky keyboard. This little lamp has been with me since before I think we moved here, but it changes colors. I guess temperature, depending on the vibe that I want, how I'm feeling. Am I feeling sterile or warm? Relatively new addition to the office is a whiteboard. I think it was like $5 on Amazon, and I got like a set of markers that'll probably last me forever. I got all the colors, but this has been really good to help me with if I have like some downtime or if I'm just not sure what to work on. I look over here and be like, oh, okay, I can work on that. Coffee, always got to have coffee for a video. Latte. Ethiopian beans. Actually, I'll show you. The coffee maker is actually downstairs. Say hello to the Gaja. I got this about 4 years ago as kind of a gift to myself, and then eventually upgraded the grinder because you have to have a good grinder. But I'm pretty much a espresso snob, although I don't really buy that fancy beans. A lot of times my beans come from Costco. My dad made this with a Cricut, so it's kind of like a etching sticker. All right, let's continue the tour. I got this for free from a friend who is moving. Work hard and be nice to people, just a kind of a good motto to have. Something to think about every once in a while. I got this neat little lamp and the bulb. You can change the color to anything you want. Right now it's kind of a weird purplish, bluish. But a new addition to the office is these panels, these black panels that we installed December, maybe last December, so about 5 months ago or so. I'm out of breath from going up the stairs. So I've always had this painting pretty much since we built this, made this my office, but these panels are more of like a decorative slash like acoustic panel, and so it really helps out with sound, trapping sound, and it just looks cool. It used to be a white wall, and now it's got like a podcasty type vibe to it. Plant, actually given to me by Jason Stats when I first started my YouTube content. Thanks, Jason. It's just, it really goes well in this office. I love it. Okay, time for some decor. I'm not much of a decor person. I do love design and style, but the decor side of things, I'm pretty basic. So I actually had these at the office when I was an employer before my job, or sorry, before I started my firm. And so these have just stayed with me. They're kind of a relics of the past. I can never know if these are even or not, so I'm probably constantly adjusting them. But it's basically a shrine. This is a shrine to my grandfather, Murray Burnham. He found all of these arrowheads on his property, dug them up. I'm sure most of them are from his property. Here's part of my grandpa's lure collection. I'm sure he used all of these at some point. He was a big fisherman too. Hunter, fisherman, just a crazy outdoorsman. Here's a sweet picture of him just vibing on a rock with some bobcats. Next up, we have our teleprompter. This is a Glide Gear teleprompter. I've bought this when I first started YouTube channel. It's kind of falling apart. You can see like the adhesive is just not doing its job. But yes, I use a teleprompter. I don't know if that's a surprise. I put a tablet right here with my script and I read off of it just because it's basically impossible to memorize a script in an efficient time manner. And so this thing is awesome. I put my camera behind right here and it goes out that way. I'll usually put it about right here on the floor and shoot this way. I do shoot towards the couch sometimes just to mix it up, but this is generally my shot, my framing. It's probably a little different every time because I don't have any marks on the floor on where to put it. I probably should do that, but here's my mic. It's a Sennheiser MKE 600, and I prop that up kind of over my head. Here's a window. Got 3 big windows, but these are blackout curtains so I can get it real dark, basically to where it's not dark or not light. This puppy is a huge light, and I'll put this behind the camera somewhere, propped up on this varipole. I think that's what it's called, varipole. And basically I crank this into the roof or ceiling, and it basically creates like a pole that you can attach this light on with this clamp. It's pretty sweet, but it's just massive. It works awesome, but it's massive, and it's pretty it's obnoxious, but it works really well. The bigger the light, the better the quality of video. This is a relatively new computer I got about 6 months ago. Check out this cordage, just absolutely atrocious cording right here. It wasn't so bad before I got this new computer, but it all kind of got mixed up, and I still haven't taken off this computer. I was just kind of in the phase of like, all right, am I going to keep this computer around, or am I going to kind of use it on the side? And I haven't used it in about 5 months, so I may just completely take it off, and then I'll have to take off the bracket and all of that fun stuff. I put this little drawer here for knickknacks and stuff, and pins, gum. Hold on, just keep things stored away. This computer is an absolute beast. It's an Alienware. I still have the little glass cover right here because I'm scared about this touching, but I put this crazy huge brace bracket there, and it's off a little bit, which is unfortunate because it drives me crazy. Like it needs to be to the side a little bit. Oh my gosh. You can't really tell, but you can. It helps me edit videos. There's no stuttering at all when I'm editing. I definitely don't play any games on this computer. This computer kicks up heat right here and it just like flows into my legs. And that's not very fun when it's warm in the office. So I have this little fan to blow it all over. Highly recommend getting MX Master 3S. Oops. It's just an awesome mouse. It feels good in the hand, has buttons, scroll wheels, works really well, helps me be efficient. Program those little buttons to copy and paste, saves a ton of clicks. Here's my original YouTube camera, recommended by Jason Stats. It's a Sony a6400. The camera that I'm using now, this one, is a Sony FX30. FX30 is great. I think it does a great job. The a6400 also does a great job. Once you start buying camera gear, you kind of can't stop. You get obsessed with it and you just want more and more. But thankfully I'm at a spot where I'm pretty satisfied. Like this camera's on a gimbal right now that I bought last year for being able to take it to conferences and have kind of a smooth flow. You gotta have a scanner when you own an accounting firm. Even though I don't really deal with paper, every once in a while I have to print something out, sign it, or sometimes I receive something in the mail and I just scan it in. Same with the shredder, just shred all the sensitive docs. Ignore all this cable mess. I have a UPS, Universal Power Supply. It's basically a big battery and there's a bunch of cables connected in there. So if the power goes out, I've got power still to my computer. If I lose power, I can still have internet unless it's like unless the internet is somehow out everywhere, but that's pretty rare. This little thing is another teleprompter that I can actually just slide over this camera, and I'll use it if I'm maybe doing a presentation online, or if I just want to be able to look straight into the camera during Zoom meetings. So that's always nice. But this thing is awesome. It's Elgato prompter, I think that's what it's, or just teleprompter. That little black thing is the screen, so it's a built-in screen and you just plug it in and it acts like a third monitor. Okay, here's another Varipole where I have a light connected. Use this light for when I'm doing Zoom meetings or any kind of meeting online. I have the light on versus this one because this light is garbage. It's not a good light. It's not a good looking light. Doesn't make things look good. Okay, all right. These shelves, I put these shelves in myself. Pretty proud of it, but I feel like I need more shelves right here because, as you can see, it's crowded. And right here is a closet where I have a bunch of junk in. I'll show you in a moment. That could be out here. That would make things easier to get to. So I've been thinking about getting like a tool chest or something to slide right in here to use that has drawers, but I don't know. So we have all these books. Some of them I have read. Camera gear, Lego. These are mics. This is lens, shield. Another lens, some stickers, camera battery. I have this little accent light that I'll turn on every once in a while for videos. Let's see if it works. Oh gosh, there we go. Okay, last color I used was green. Here's some old pictures. Old picture of my daughter. Oh look, another picture of my grandpa. And that happens to be a jaguar that he killed in Mexico. I went on a book buying spree and basically I bought most of these and did not read. Okay, did y'all hear that? I did not want to be one of those people that have their degrees and credentials behind them at all times. So I posted them up kind of on the side. So the camera will most likely never really see it, but I can always look over while I'm working and just admire. Okay, well that's pretty much all of the office. You know, you've seen it all. There's not, I don't know what else to tell you. Oh, this chair. Let's see if I can work the gimbal in reverse. So this chair was given to me by my father-in-law. Actually, the chair I'm sitting in now was given to me by my father-in-law. But this chair I've had before I was married. So I probably got this chair in 2013. And I used it to study for the CPA exam. And then we just had it wherever we've lived. And so I've used it as a desk chair for most of my time working as a professional. It still works really well, and I have it, and I haven't gotten rid of it. So I guess I'm kind of a hoarder, and I don't like to give away things. But this chair that I'm sitting in right now is a steel case chair. It's pretty sweet. It works really well. But I have that one just in case somebody else is in the room and needs to sit. It does not really go with the flow here in the office because it's maroon. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions about the office, please let me know. It's really nice having a home office. I basically wake up and walk 20 feet and I'm able to work. And then I can go down for breakfast really easily. Like the only downside of having a home office is probably like I could probably be a little more efficient or productive if I had a separate office that was off-site away from my home, just because there's just distractions with the family around, and you know you see something and you want to like address it, like I need to do this little chore real quick, or so. There's always that, but the convenience of it is worth it. And like I absolutely hate traffic, and so if I don't have to be in traffic, that makes my life 100% better. I've also thought about like building a separate structure in my backyard, like a kind of an outdoor shed office, but the economics of that just isn't there yet, I guess. But it would be cool if the HOA even allows it, and that would allow me a separate space. But for now, this situation that I have here works out really well, and I'll just make it more of mine anyways. I've always been pro making your office like look the coolest as possible, like make it your own, because if you're basically living in here or spending majority of your time in here, you want to make it look awesome, right? So I've made my office, I've curated my office to be something that I'm very proud of and will continue to be proud of as I change it up and, you know, add things or build things. And it's very fulfilling to be able to work somewhere that you actually enjoy the space that you're in. So I highly recommend if you kind of have a plain spot to make it your own and make it personal. Know that I started my firm in my house. I never had an external brick and mortar like extra space. So launching a firm is completely possible virtually. I've had like basically 2 clients over and they drop something off or sign something off. So other than that, like I actually like haven't really met many of my clients in person. I think that's just the way things are these days. There's a handful that I have. Yeah, it's just the way things are. I wouldn't mind buying a property one day, but COVID kind of just made real estate unapproachable in my area, but it'd be cool one day. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.